Wow, this is so exciting. These are amazing news. Check this out. Houston Mounted Police horses are gonna go barefoot and beatless. I'll explain in a second what it actually means and why it's so important for dog owners as well. But just so you know, the reason I'm so excited is because it's actually coming from a police department. If you ever got to work at a police station or to work with police officers or with military personnel, you know that change doesn't come easily. Those big and old organizations usually don't want to change anything that they think works and seem to be working for many years, sometimes even decades. Heck, sometimes even centuries. So whenever you see that even they decide that it's time for a change, you know for sure that what was being done before is probably not the right thing to do. And why is it so important for us dog owners? That's because many dog trainers, even famous ones online, that teach you how to train your dog and claim that they were police dog trainers and canine unit trainers and military canine unit trainers. And because of that, you need to trust that everything they say is set in stone. Then, well, apparently that's not the case. Yes, they might have experienced training in a very specific way that they think seem to be working, but here, this shows us just the opposite. Even police will change their mind and will understand. It takes longer for them to understand, but eventually they will understand, and you'll see that all of the training of horses and dogs and whatever animal they're using is going to become more reward-based and less punishment-based like it is right now. And by the way, maybe it's not common in the US, but in other countries, in the military and in the police, many countries actually use only reward-based training to reach the same goals and to achieve exactly the same things as are done here in the US using force, using punishment instead of reward-based training. If you've been following my channel, you know that punishment-based training is known to actually cause more issues down the line. There are actually studies done on military dogs showing that they have a very high frequency of obsessive compulsive disorders or compulsive disorders and other behavioral issues because of the stress that they're in all the time. And if other police departments and other military units can achieve exactly the same things using reward-based training as what they think they're achieving here with punishment-based training, then why continue punishing the dogs, especially when you know it might cause other issues? Well, the answer is you don't. You don't need to use punishment-based training to achieve those things, even for complicated missions. Now, what exactly did the Houston Police Department change? Well, the one thing that I'm really excited about is going bitless. A bit is basically a piece of metal that's inside of the horse's mouth, and it causes pain and causes discomfort whenever the rider is pulling on it. That is kind of the equivalent of using a prong collar on a dog. So the fact that even those cowboys down in Texas, in Houston, are able to work with their horses, with police horses, without causing pain, is a very good indication that change is coming. So embrace the change. Stop following blindly people that are using their titles of being ex-canine unit trainers and all of that, because the reality is that you can get the same things without hurting the dog and without hurting the horse. Now, for all of those that keep writing me things like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about because you didn't train a giant mammoth or you didn't train a cane corso or something like that, they have to use choke collars or they have to use prong collars. So I answer first, I did train those dogs and you don't need those tools. And second, I think that a horse is slightly bigger than a dog. Slightly bigger than a dog, even a Cane Corso, even a Great Dane. A horse is bigger. So if you can work with a horse without hurting him, I'm sure you can work with a dog without hurting him. And if you think that because a horse doesn't bite, and by the way, they can bite and it hurts like hell, but if you think that a horse is not a predator and that's why it's easier, no, it's just the opposite. The fact that a horse is considered a prey animal means that they are actually much more sensitive. And because of their size, they can easily kill a person. So maybe share this with someone that you know that works in a canine unit, or even email your local canine unit at the police department or anything like that and ask them, when are you gonna embrace the change? Or, what? Maybe not just the canine, maybe also the equine unit, and have them embrace the future. Well, actually, it's not even the future, because we know for decades that you don't need to use punishment and that you shouldn't be using punishment. But for them, it's the future. So let's share it. Oh, and by the way, if you want an example of someone who uses punishment because he says that this is the way that he trained dogs when he was in a canine training unit, check out this video.